Good afternoon all of you once again. Today I will be talking on very important component of GIS, that is inputting editing in GIS. I will just tell you what I am going to talk, and then we will elaborate on that different topics in that. What is inputting is something like you input into a GIS, something going inside to GIS. So we can input through a digitizer, or we can also input through a scanner. And then once you input through a digitizer, you create a layer that is called manual digitization. And then when you input with a scanner, you generate again a digital file of that is called a raster file. And then once the file is made, we adopt different modes to convert into a GIS understandable format. We can also convert in terms of automatic method, we can convert semi-automatic method, and then we can also do manual digitization, that is bringing the file onto the on-screen and digitize that file and then convert into a usable layer in a GIS. So then we will also discuss on various issues of which method is correct, like manual digitization or on-screen digitization, which is good, what are the advantages, disadvantages. So then we will also discuss the important component of a scanning and scanner. Suppose you are asked to scan a map, then you should also know that at what resolution I should scan. So otherwise, otherwise you know technically, then you will do at different resolutions. Finally, you will come into the problem. So what I will be talking is inputting, that is manual digitization, and then you also scanning, generating a file, and then converting into a GIS layer in a different modes we use. And then what are the errors when you digitize? There are errors. When you digitize, that is not enough. So you have to also correct the errors. So then only your final layer is ready. So all these issues we will discuss. We will also solve one or two problems, and then I will end up with my lecture. So what is digitization? When you say digitization, so digitization means converting analog data into a digital data. So in other words, digitization is a method of capturing existing maps. So that means when you put a map onto a digitizer and then you convert that into a digital form in a GIS, that is called a digitization. Other way is when you scan a map, it is also called digitizing in a general sense. But in a GIS sense, it is not digitization, it is just scanning and creating a file and getting it ready to be digitized later on. So there are various steps are involved in a digitization. When you say digitization, so you say document, here there is a document, and then you can also put that document into a digitizing tablet. See, when we started GIS, we were only provided with a digitizing tablet. So that time scanner technology was not matured, and then scanner technology was rarely used. So most of the time it was done on a manual digitizing tablet. So then there are two methods. Either you go into the method what is written 2 or either 3. Either one or this one or this one. So then once you digitize, bringing a map onto this, and then you digitize, you convert into a vector layer. So you see, line is converted into a vector layer, polygon also is converted, and then there is a dot. So that means different three features like a point, line, and area are converted into a vector format. So once vector format is made, so that is again sent to the spatial database. So your database is ready. So while doing it, so you are also removing the errors and then finally bringing it to the usable spatial database. So when the other method is you put it under a scanner and you scan your map, and then that file you brought into your on-screen, and then you again digitize. So convert into your vector format. Otherwise, once you scan it, you can also automatically rasterize and then vectorize and rasterize, and then form your layer. So that way also you can straight away use it. Suppose in some cases you wanted to only scan some map or satellite data or a photograph, you wanted to use only as a background. So then you wanted to overlay other layers already generated. So in that case you can directly bring from the scanner to your raster, and then use other layer generated onto that. You can also check the quality of the data layer generated on that and going to spatial database. So we'll be talking about digitization, on-screen digitization, scanning, and what are the scanner type of things, and then we also talk about what is the resolution at which your map has to be scanned. So once you vectorize or you rasterize, it is also possible to convert from vector to raster or raster to vector. So there are also automatic methods and semi-different type of methods are also there in this. So coming back to that manual digitization, so these are the digitizing tablet. So you see this is a digitizing tablet, A3 size is this, and then there is also one more digitizing tablet on a pedal. So it is a bigger size. So these are the bigger digitizers, and then this is A3 size. This is a smaller size digitizer. A3 means 2 A4 size together is A3 size. A0 size is something like a you have a 900 mm somewhat the width of that, and then those scanners digitizers we can also use. And then if you see that this mouse also used to have 4-button mouse, and some of the mouse used to have a 16-button mouse. And this digitizer is something electronic grid, mesh grid is there inside, and then that is connected to the cables, and then it is connected when it gives the electricity and all. It also having a coordinates. Wherever you click on that, it will convert its own coordinates into a map coordinates once you give your corner coordinates for the map. So you will be placing your map onto this and start digitizing it. To say that your map is scanned, so then you can do a manual digitization or you do a semi-automatic digitization. So the different methods are used for digitizing those things. So let us discuss what are the advantages of methods like on-screen digitization versus a manual digitization. So when you see that normal manual digitization, you put your map on a digitizer. So you may not be aware about the digitizer, but digitizer also can be used effectively.